Let's say that you put a load of clothes in the washer to be washed. Come back an hour later to pick up the clothes, and they're dripping wet. This is what you need to do to find out why the washer did not spin. Set the timer on the spin cycle and pull the knob to turn the washer on. If you hear noises like these ones and the washer doesn't seem to be spinning, open the washer door and use a flat screwdriver to activate the lift switch. If the washer won't spin, do the following. Remove the screwdriver, close the door, turn the washer off, and set the timer on the regular cycle and let it fill. If the washer motor starts but it won't agitate and make noises like this, close the washer door, turn the timer off, and set the timer on the spin cycle and pull the knob to turn the machine to drain the water out. After the washer is empty, you will need to take the washer apart to check and replace the bad motor coupler. Let me show you how the motor coupler works in a direct drive Whirlpool, Kenmore, Roper, KitchenAid, Estate, and the newest top-load washer made by Maytag. This is the motor coupler. The motor coupler has 3 pieces, 2 plastic pieces, sometimes called fingers, and a round rubber piece with holes on it that we will call the coupler. In this view you can see a broken motor coupler. The fingers are broken and the center piece, the rubber coupler, is missing. Most likely was shredded by the fingers before they broke off. When the motor runs, it won't transfer torque to the transmission and the washer will not spin or agitate. This is how a good motor coupler should work. When the motor runs, the finger attached to the motor will turn the rubber piece in the middle. The rubber piece in the middle will turn the fingers attached to the transmission, and the washer will agitate or spin according to the direction that the motor is running at the time. And that's how the motor coupler works. So when the motor coupler breaks, you will get no agitation or spin on the washing machine. Disconnect the washer from the wall outlet. Open the controls panel and remove the cabinet. Lean the washer against the wall and put something like paint cans under it to keep it in place. Make a loop from a piece of rope to hold the pump. Undo the pump holding clips with a needle nose pliers and remove the top one. Remove the pump from the motor and hold it to the side with a piece of rope. Remove the screws from the motor bracket and remove the motor wire harness. Undo the bottom bracket using a flat screwdriver like this. Hold the motor with your left hand and undo the top bracket. Lower the motor a little bit and turn the top bracket quarter of a turn and take it right out. And remove the motor. Make sure you don't drop the motor, you could break something on it. Leave the bottom bracket in place. Use a flat screwdriver to remove the plastic piece from the transmission shaft, like this. Set the new plastic piece in the transmission shaft. Use an extension or sucker wrench to drive it in. Place it on the middle and start tapping nice and easy until the plastic piece is flush with the transmission shaft. Just be careful you don't break it. Install the round rubber piece, which is the coupler, and make sure that one of the empty holes is pointing down like a 6 o'clock. Remove the bad plastic piece from the motor. Place the motor so the shaft is touching the wall so the shaft will not move. Place the new plastic piece on the shaft. Use the extension and the sucker wrench and tap it in nice and easy until it's flush with the motor shaft. Place a flat piece of wood on top of the bottom bracket to help you support the motor. Make sure the 4 rubber grommets are in the motor. Also, point one of the fingers down like a 6 o'clock. Set the motor on top of the piece of wood. Align the motor and set it in place. Hold it with your right hand and remove the piece of wood. Install the top holding bracket. Align the bracket and push the motor up until the bracket falls in place. Place your left hand under the bottom bracket and push up until it snaps in place. Be careful you don't pinch your fingers. Install the 2 screws and install the wire harness. Install the bottom pump holding clip and install the pump. Use the needle nose pliers to set the top holding clip and set it in place. And set the bottom one too. Stand up the washer, install the cabinet, and that's it. That's the way you replace a motor coupler. Disconnect the washer from the wall outlet. Remove the agitator cap. Remove the agitator dog's cover. Hold the agitator with your left hand and remove the agitator holding bolt. Hold the agitator with your left hand again and pull the top part of the agitator, leaving the bottom part inside of the machine. Turn the top part of the agitator upside down and remove the agitator dog's holder. Remove the plastic dog retainer from the holder and remove the bad agitator dogs. This is a bad agitator dog and this is a good one. Install the new agitator dogs. And install the retaining ring. Make sure you install the dogs the right way. Check the gear light cuts inside of the top part of the agitator. If they're bad, replacing the agitator dogs won't help. You will need to replace the top part of the agitator too. Use a long screwdriver to set the agitator dog's holder inside of the top part of the agitator, like this. When you install the top part of the agitator, these tabs have to lock through these grooves. Install the top part of the agitator. Align it. Make sure that the tabs and the grooves are aligned. Push down on it with the extension and sucker wrench until the tabs and the grooves snap in place, like this. Tape the agitator bolt to the sucker wrench to make it easy to put it in and install it. Apply dish detergent to the seal on the agitator dog's cover. This way it goes in easier and it makes a better seal. Set the agitator duct's cover in place. Push down on it and make sure you got a good seal. You will need a good seal to protect the new agitator duct from soapy water. Install the agitator cover and you're done. That's the way to replace the agitator ducts. Disconnect the washer from the wall outlet. Remove the fabric softener dispenser. Find the little groove and use a flat screwdriver to remove the agitator cap. You may have a regular screw or a plastic one like this one. To loosen up the regular screw, use a 7/16 socket wrench with an extension bar. Then use a needle nose pliers to pick up the screw. If the screw has a plastic head like this one, you will need a 1/2-inch extension bar to remove it. Go ahead and remove the holding screw on the spring. Hold the agitator with your left hand and pull on the top part of the agitator to unsnap it from the bottom part. Remove the agitator duct's holder. Here's a view of a couple different agitator duct holders. Put the agitator duct holder on a flat surface and remove the duct holder ring. Then remove the bad agitator ducts. Install the new agitator ducts. Make sure you put them the right way. Then install the agitator ducts holding ring. Before you install the agitator ducts holder into the agitator, you will need to make sure that these gear-like cuts are not worn out. If they are, you will need to replace the top part of the agitator too. To install the agitator ducts holder, these tabs have to mate with these cuts on the agitator ducts holder. Like this. Align the tabs with the agitator ducts holder grooves. Then push to snap it in place. Install the agitator holding screw, the regular one or the plastic one, whichever one you have, and tighten it. Make sure that the agitator cap seal is good, and then go ahead and install it. Install the fabric softener dispenser, and that's it. That's all you have to do to replace the agitator ducts. With the washer disconnected from the wall outlet, let me show you how the water level or low side switch works. Let me remove the cabinet to show you. On the right side of the tank on the back, you will find a plastic cup welded to the tank. This cup has a small tube on the top, and connected to the tube is a transparent plastic hose. The transparent plastic hose goes all the way to the controls panel and connects to the water level or low side switch. When the washer starts filling and the water level passes above the cup, air is trapped in the cup. As the water keeps coming in, the air in the cup gets pushed upward to the bellows in the water level switch. When enough pressure is exerted on the water level switch bellows, the switch switches from empty to full and the washer starts agitating. When the washer starts the spin cycle, the water starts draining from the machine. When the water has drained past the cup on the side of the tank, the water level switch loses the air pressure and the washer is ready for another wash or rinse cycle. And that is the way that the water level switch works on the washer. Disconnect the washer from the wall outlet. Let me show you how to check the water level or load size switch. Remove the switch knob. Open the controls panel. Press the holding clip and turn the switch counterclockwise and take it right out. Remove the switch wire harness and make sure that the plastic hose stays attached to the switch. With the washer empty of water, take a reading with your ohms meter between the terminal on the left and the terminal on the middle. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the reading is infinity, the water level or load size switch is bad and you must replace it. With the washer full of water, take a reading between the terminal on the left and the terminal on the right. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the reading is infinity, the water level or load size switch is bad and you must replace it. If the water level switch is bad, remove the clear plastic hose and install it in the new switch. Also install the wire harness. Make sure you have a good connection. Set the new water level switch in place and turn it clockwise until the switch locks in place. Lower and close the controls panel and install the water level switch knob. And that's it. That's the way you check and replace a water level switch.